What's up, everybody? It's me, your boy, comedian Detroit Red. So you know what that must mean. Time for another episode of Catching the News with me, comedian Detroit Red. And you know how I do it. I scour the news feeds locally, nationally, and worldwide to bring you some of the most talked about news stories going on in the headlines today. And my story today comes straight from Detroit, Michigan, where the Detroit police have decided to ask for a 4-day curfew on minors instead of the standard one for the upcoming Detroit Fire Festival's weekend. So they about to try to go to city council and get to the city and ask them to put this curfew in place, but somebody then came forward and said, whoa, wait a minute, we might be violating some rights. So I'm going to let you check out the news story, come back and give you my comment and opinion, and you know how we do it. Let's check it out.
Crime during the upcoming fireworks by extending the curfew.
Yeah, they're asking the city to change it from 1 day to 4. Fox 2's Roop Raj is live with more on the reasoning behind the request. Roop?
Well, the reasoning behind the request is because they think they can get a better grip on the situation in terms of the numbers of people who are going to be coming out for the big Freedom Festival fireworks that happen on June 22nd. But the big issue that they're dealing with right now is the fact that the ACLU is saying, hold on a minute, this could be unconstitutional.
What you're essentially doing is criminalizing an entire class of Detroiters, young people.
It's the fireworks ahead of the fireworks. The American Civil Liberties Union taking issue with the 4-day curfew. A double standard for the kids in Detroit or a proactive way to keep the streets safe. The city is considering a proposal that would make a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew from June 19th to June 22nd. But there's no such curfew for the country Motown Hoedown this weekend, nor was there one for the Movement Festival earlier in the month.
This is supposed to be a celebration of the independence of the United States. So if we're going to celebrate the independence, let's also celebrate the Constitution. And let's recognize that our young people have a right to be able to walk around their communities without being harassed or detained by the police.
The city council has less than 2 weeks to decide on whether to vote yes on the ordinance enforcing the curfew.
All right, as you see, you know how I do it, straight in, no chaser. You see, they standing for it, AC coming forward and saying, look, this might be against constitutional rights. And I also agree on the point and fact of, how are we criminalizing Detroit's youth when we're not criminalizing nobody else's youth? They don't have a curfew in effect for the hoedown. They don't have a curfew in effect for the Techno Fest. And I'm going to be real with you. We all know that them suburban kids come down here and use mad hallucinant drugs while they in the Techno Fest, jamming and partying all night. So I see worse cause and danger there when you got a whole mob of drunk, high hallucinant teenagers running around in downtown Detroit and young adults than I do from some teenagers that live here, residents of the city, and want to just go enjoy some good fun and clean fun like they should be able to do. If you check around in the surrounding suburbs or a lot of the cities that's majority Caucasian persuasion, you'll see that such curfews are not in place. And I'm going to tell you something. You're thinking, well, these are kids. They need to be reined in a little bit. Like they said, it's unfair to ask for a kid to stay cooped up in the house all weekend long on basically was summertime. They went to school, have nothing to do, and tell them, hey, you're not a regular person, you don't get to enjoy. You gotta stay in the house for 4 whole days while everybody else get to go have fun in your city. BS. And I'm gonna tell you, if we let this happen, we're gonna let a whole lot of other mess happen. Just like they did the Detroit riverfront. As everybody knows, Detroit Red is an avid fisherman. I love to go fishing. You've seen me post videos about fishing. I've been fishing off the Detroit River for well over 20-something plus years. And since they built the new Riverwalk, the Detroit Conservancy, and all that mess, all of a sudden, me as a grown man has to get off of the river at 10 o'clock at night. I'm a grown goddamn man. I shouldn't have to leave a riverfront or a walkway that my tax dollars help pay for at 10 o'clock. And this ain't the local doing it, it's state. And it's the Border Patrol and the private security company that works for these guys. Which I'll be to cover that on another day and time. I brought it up to say though, if we let them get away with making us keep our kids at home while everybody else's kids can come out and enjoy, what will they be trying to get away with next? Okay? Hey, Detroit police, do your job. Not just when it comes to the visiting suburbanites, but when it comes to your own. I've always supported Chief Craig and the job he has done since he's been here. But I do not support this call here. You're showing the potential to make more youth look at it like they already thugs, they already bad, so let's go on and act bad. You don't perpetuate good behavior with punishment for no bad behavior. Hey, you know how I do it. I give it and tell it like I see it. It's just my opinion. You have a right to yours. And we ask that you do that. Give us your comment. Give us your opinion. Start the conversation. Get it flowing. Let the people know how you feel. Hey, and remember this. If it's a news story worth catching, you'll be catching it with Detroit Red. Peace.